as per usual. Some would say the worst governor of all time. I can agree with that. We're talking about, today we're talking about the unfortunate situation with Alex Pretti. Look, I don't like it when people get shot, but we need to figure out why he got shot, okay? Tensions have been escalating in Minnesota. Tensions have been escalating. And sadly, it's not ICE. If you guys want to blame ICE, it's really not ICE that is igniting this. It's the crazy woke-conians, I call them the woke-conians, who are just going insane because they can. And to be honest, I kind of get tired of these wokes, you know? And, yeah, just kind of done with it, man. The woke people, I think, have made things worse, in my opinion. And they're going crazy on the streets, man. The woke people are. So, I just don't know anymore, man. I just don't know. Give me just a few moments, though, you guys. All right, my bronies, let's go. Here we go. So we're gonna react to this whole Alex Pretti situation. I don't know much about it. I'm actually just tuning into it, so I'm a little bit late to the party on it. It's sad. I feel bad for this guy. I clearly, it sucks that he got shot. We don't know the circumstances yet. I don't, at least. You guys probably know better than I do. But yeah. Audrey says, seeing conservatives blame the man who was murdered, pretend it was brandishing the gum and claiming... First off, I don't think he deserved it. I don't think anybody deserves to be shot. Now, we're going to react to a few things. Let's watch this video. We're just going to watch anything related to it at this point, just so we can get an idea of what the heck is happening.
All right, we have what appears...
So, this guy right here, the Alex Lace Show, he's going to react to what happened. We're going to react to his reaction more so. Yeah, give me a second, you guys. Okay, here we go. So we're going to react to this guy's reaction more than anything, and we're going to see what really happened. We're going to try to get a gauge on what happened, hopefully.
Agents in Minnesota. This time it was this guy, Alex Pretti. He is the one that decided to bring a gun with him and continue to engage with ICE officers.
So he brought a gun with him and was messing with ICE? Okay. So why are people defending this guy? He's already... Oh, man. Anybody who says this guy's not in the wrong, they need to, check themselves. Just because he was shot by ICE doesn't mean that ICE was in the wrong. It's possible they were defending themselves. Can we at least acknowledge that? But no, the left is going to brainwash themselves. But let's see for ourselves what exactly happened
with Border Patrol agents during this observing that he says he was doing. Now, regardless of, this guy is there to obstruct. That's his purpose. That's his reason. Now, he's armed. Obviously, he has a weapon on him. Here are the videos that I believe show why I believe this is a justified shooting, and you've seen all of them, I'm sure, but if you the slow motion video here, there's multiple things that we can see. In the video, we see this guy grabbing something with his left hand. He looks like he's reaching into his waistband. He clearly looks like he's reaching with his left hand into his waistband. There is something in his right hand. I don't know what that is. It's not clear enough to see. We also have the man in gray, the law enforcement guy in gray, appears to pull a gun from Alex Pretti while he's on the ground. He pulls a gun out of his, apparently from behind him, like where his behind is. He pulls this gun. He doesn't have the gun when he reaches in. He has the gun when he comes out. While this is all happening, you hear clearly in the video somebody yelling, "Gun, gun, gun." Now, is that in reference to the gun that they...
I don't know. I'm not too sure how to react to this. We're gonna look into it a little further. We're gonna look into this as many different angles as we can and figure out what was happening. We're gonna see what's happening here. Now, was Alex Pretti murdered? He was agitating, that's for sure. He was interfering in ICE operations. He wasn't protesting. He was agitating. Did he deserve to get shot? I don't think so. I think a simple punch to the face would have done, hopefully. But I will say this: if he had a gun on him and he was about ready to pull the gun on the ICE agents while on the ground, that's pretty suspect right there of Alex. And yeah, I'm not entirely here. I realize I need to wipe my keyboard real quick. Hold on. I usually wipe my keyboard typically, so I need to wipe it down real quick. Hold on. These are pretty good wipes. They're called wipeouts. Pretty nice. But yeah, no. So this Alex Pretti situation, I'm still very new to this developing story that's been happening, and hopefully more angles come out because, I think it's really important to figure out what's happening in this. Did he? Because look, I don't think in this instance, if they were able to get him to the ground successfully, and they were able to disarm his weapon. I don't know if they were able to disarm his weapon after the fact, like after he was shot. But there's a lot of reactions. And here's the thing: Tim Walz and a lot of the leftists in the government are not exactly helping. They're fanning the flames more than anybody. A lot of these people are fanning the flames more than anybody. He pulled a gun from his waistband. Yep. So if he was pulling a gun from his waistband and he was about ready to shoot these ICE officers, that's a bit of a problem, That's a bit of a problem. And I think at a certain point you kind of have to... They did before he was shot? Okay, I mean, look, if they removed the gun before he was shot and then they shot him, that's honestly pretty messed up. I'll admit that's messed up. No, by the way, the people fanning the flames are guys like Tim Walz telling these people to go out there, basically, telling these people to go out there and riot, essentially. He's basically telling them to riot, allegedly. And, you see these crazy Minnesota people, and what they do is they start antagonizing ICE. They start getting into ICE's face. Honestly, Do I think Alex Pretti deserved to get shot? No. If they were able to remove the gun beforehand and disarm him, then no, it's not justified to shoot him. I'm not going to defend what these ICE agents are doing, but I'm not going to defend what Alex Pretti was doing either. He was clearly an agitator. You know, this is another one of those situations where both parties were wrong. Alex Pretti was wrong for agitating. ICE officers were wrong for shooting him if they were able to disarm him successfully. He was just filming? Interesting. Let's take a look. And by the way, we'll take a look at this a little bit further. We'll get into this a little bit further, but you guys got to give me a second, though. Make sure you guys tap the subscribe button, though. The more subscribers we get, the better. It does help the channel grow in more ways than one. Let's see. Pulling up a few more pieces of imagery and information. Yeah, both are wrong. I think ICE, first off, if they were able to disarm him the way they were, then the ICE agents were in the wrong. If they were able to disarm him, they didn't need to shoot him. And by the way, a lot of these people are not protesting, they're rioting. They're agitating ICE. So I really don't think Alex Pretti was in the right. I really don't. I don't think the ICE agents were in the right either for shooting him. He did have a gun, but if they were able to disarm him beforehand, that's a different story. But yeah, so I think it's one of those situations where, first off, ICE isn't going anywhere. Let's just face it, you guys. ICE isn't going anywhere. So I know a lot of you libs don't want ICE there. Fine. But you not wanting them there, I mean, we elected Trump, and we wanted ICE to be in cities like Minnesota that house illegal immigrants, right? Because Minnesota is basically a sanctuary city. Think about it. Really think about that. Now, by the way, I am not advocating for ICE on this one. I don't think what ICE did in this situation was smart. And thank you, Chuck Weber, for subscribing.
Laugh out loud.
I want to give a shout out to everybody who subscribed over the last 2 days. I'm going to put their names on the board because I want you guys to see the greatness of these people. Give me a second.
Laugh out loud.
I want to thank all these great people for subscribing. It's just a thank you. These are the people that became members, became subscribers. So I really just want to say I appreciate all you guys
Laugh out loud.
A lot. Okay. While those names are floating on the screen, we're going to watch the rest of this.
The guy pulled out. Do they see another gun? I don't know. Now, in this moment,
Laugh out loud.
everything happens in 2 seconds. Now, we can clearly look back and analyze all this. We have the liberty and the privilege of slow motion replay and second guessing.
I am glad that slow motion replay exists, though. It helps
Laugh
make
out loud.
figuring this shit out a lot easier. Because stuff like this is complicated. It gets a little complicated, man. But make sure you guys tap the subscribe button, though. The more subscribers we have, the better.
Laugh out loud.
All right, give me 1 second, you guys.
Laugh out loud.
Give me just a few moments. Getting a couple things underway. And bada bing, bada boom. Bada bing, bada boom.
Laugh out loud.
Here we go. Let's take a look here. Thank you guys for subscribing to the channel, though. We've been getting a lot of subscribers lately. So don't forget to tap the subscribe button.
Laugh
Tap
out
the like
loud.
button as well if you can. Let's keep going.
These guys, these fathers, brothers, and sons have just split seconds to react. Okay, so all of this happens at the same time. Guy pulls the gun out of
Laugh
his
out
waistband. The suspect reaches with his left hand, has something in his right hand, and someone's yelling, gun, gun, gun. Okay? They have no idea if this guy has a second pistol on him. Even
Laugh
if they
out
didn't
loud.
see the guy pull the gun out, they don't know if he's got another gun.
And that is a possibility. He could have. In those split-second decisions, you have to make some judgments. Yeah, but
Laugh
here's
out
the thing.
loud.
A lot of these rioters are like impeding ICE investigations. They're getting in the way They're intentionally getting in the way. If you want to protest.
Laugh out loud.
Protest without getting in the way of the ICE agents doing their duty. I know that you guys don't agree with ICE, but they're still a federal agency trying to do their duty. And by the way, I'm not going to feel bad for Alex Pretti. I'm not. I don't want people like him to get shot. No, I really don't. I'm not advocating for that either. But I'm just saying that if you mess with ICE, it's not a good thing. You should not be just going out there and messing with ICE. It's not smart. It's stupid. Like, kind of get a reality check here.
There's too many things happening at one time here. I believe that it's completely justified for them to shoot this guy.
By the way, if you guys want Vance 2028, tap the subscribe button. Let's go.
Now, it's sad. You don't want to see this happen to anybody. And again, you should not be putting yourself in a situation where you are armed and you are engaging with law enforcement officers. That is 10 times out of 10 going to end up in a deadly situation for you. Okay, so this guy had an opportunity to back right the way. As soon as he sees ICE officers begin to engage and step forward, you back away, hands up, I'm out of here, I'm apologize, that's it. Because you know you have a gun on you, and this could be deadly. That's not what this guy chose to do. This guy chose to engage, and it ended up deadly for him. Again, all of these things seem to happen at one time. The guy has a gun pulled out from his back. He's reaching with his left hand into his waistband. He's got something in his right hand. Someone yells, gun, gun, gun. All of those things happening simultaneously ends up in this guy being eliminated. Again, it's sad to see this happen. Why it's happening?
And a lot of these protesters, I should just say rioters at this point, a lot of these rioters are just making things worse. If you just let them do their duty, let these ICE agents do their duty. If you keep egging them on and egging them on and egging them on, it takes a certain toll at a certain point. Having to deal with these lunatics on a day-to-day basis, I'm sorry. I don't know how these ICE agents do it, to be honest. And yeah, he was about ready to use a gun. Like, that's insane. Like, and by the way, I'm not advocating for what the ICE agents did, unless they're, by the way, unless they were truly, which I don't know the whole situation yet. I can't make a full determination unless I watch more of these videos. Only way for me to figure this out and to investigate this further, I'm like CoffeeZilla. You know, okay, I'm not really like CoffeeZilla. I'm not a true investigator, but yeah, no, it's interesting. He was disarmed. Okay. All right, whatevs. I could tell there's a lot of heated libs in here. Lots of libs, lots of mad liberals. I get it. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, though. More subscribers we have, the better. It really does help the channel grow in more ways than one. And whatever you guys could do to help out, it really, I greatly appreciate it, man. So simply the act of subscribing goes a long way. And preferably simp-scribing as well. But, you know. But, yeah, don't forget to subscribe, everybody.
Because Tim Waltz, Tampon Waltz, Jacob Frey, the phony Somali.
Oh, and by the way, if you're tired of the woke people, if you're just tired of them, you're tired of these agitators, these crazy people, the crazy wokes, tap the subscribe button, man, because we're tired of the wokies, too.
Somali wannabe have refused to de-escalate this situation. They can end it in a moment if they just stand up there and say, yes, we disagree with ICE. We don't like Trump. We don't want him to be here. But please, do not interfere with ICE operations. Do not obstruct them from doing this.
Yeah, honestly, Governor Tim Walz and Mayor Jacob Frey could save a lot of lives by saying that. Absolutely. They could just tell them, hey, if you want to protest, but just don't interfere with what ICE is doing. The whole ICE out event, by the way, is stupid because they're basically intentionally going out there, interfering with ICE investigations. I'm sorry, whether you agree with ICE or not, it doesn't matter. They're still a federal agency, and if you interfere with their investigations, they kind of, at that point, can kind of do whatever the hell they want.
Their job. Do not engage with them in a violent way. if they would just do that and tell their people to stop doing that, this could be over. Maybe they won't listen.
The woke people aren't going to stop. We all know that. Woke people are just going to keep doing their woke things, man. I absolutely have woke fatigue. I'm so done with the woke. All the woke stuff, man. It gets old. I don't know what it is about woke people, man, but they really get on my last nerve sometimes. And they're just so... Woke people are basically mentally ill people. Mentally ill people who are offended by everything. Mentally ill people who basically think they're Batman and Trump is the Joker's. That's their mindset. So I think woke is a mental illness, and it's all spawns from Trump derangement syndrome, which is also, in my opinion, an illness. Not medical advice, just my analysis. Talk to a doctor. If you have Trump derangement syndrome, if you think you do, talk to a doctor.
But it has a much better chance of being de-escalated rather than when you're standing up on the podium calling them the Gestapo and Nazis and lying to people about them kidnapping innocent children. That is the reason why we're where we're at right now. And never forget who Alex Pretti and Renee Good died trying to protect. Here are just some of the thousands of child rapists, murderers, violent.
It's a hell of a list, man. That's a hell of a list. I love it, man. The Zinc Roofer says, saying the phrase woke makes you sound really stupid. Woke, 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 woke. Everybody is so woke. And it ain't no freaking joke. And everybody's friggin' woke.
Violent criminals that have been pulled off the streets because of ICE. Never forget, these are the people that the left protesters are willing to give their life for. Child sex offenders, child traffickers, murderers, rapists. Those are the people that they are trying to stop ICE from arresting. Don't ever get that confused. That is exactly who they're protecting. And now we have this other sad situation that has occurred. Did the guy have a gun on him? Yes. Was he attacking ICE officers? Yes. Did he deserve to die? No. But when you put yourself into that situation, there's a good chance it's going to happen. You cannot...
And this is what I'm trying to say. And I wish that the wokes would understand what I'm trying to say. The wokies don't get this. I don't think he deserves to die. No. I really don't. I don't think anybody does. But if you're going to... You are putting yourself in grave danger by doing that shit. And I just think that it's just wild to me, I guess. The wokies, the wokonians. I call them the wokies, the wokonians. But no, I don't think he deserved to die, but he was also... But yeah, Alex Pretti was in the wrong. He was just in the wrong. I don't think... I wish the ICE... This is why I've been advocating for ICE agents to just have very advanced stun weapons, you know? For instance, the simple act of using like a taser gun would have been totally acceptable. The simple act of... I don't know, having like a rubber bullet stun gun or something. There's got to be an alternative, and I just don't know if, with how escalated things have been. Sure, it's good that they have mace on them, yes, but I think they need to have stun weapons like actual like rubber bullet guns and things like that. I think that's better. I don't know. That's the way I feel about it. And you guys could say that I'm wrong. I think it would be great if ICE had stun weapons. You know, I want them to be able to defend themselves without a doubt. But I really do think it would be better if they had stun weapons. That's my belief. No, he was in the wrong. He was interfering with an ICE investigation. He was in the wrong. I think the ICE agents were in the wrong for shooting him. I really do. No. You do realize that he was first off, he was pulling the gun. Look, if you're gonna agitate the ICE officers and you're gonna put their lives at risk by basically being in that, look, they just need to stop. These rioters need to stop interfering with ICE. It's plain and simple.
The officers there.
By the way, if you guys are tired of, if you guys like the fact that I expose these woke Karens for who they are, don't forget to subscribe to the channel.
Who are already in a highly tense situation because the Democrats have put a bullseye on their back. Now, you don't want to see anybody get killed like this. You have the right to protest. Show up and protest. They've been telling ICE to go F themselves for days. Fine, that's great. Go ahead. When you are told to disperse, when you're told to back up, when you're told to disengage, you don't listen. Now you are in a problem, especially if you have a weapon on you. You are in big-time trouble, and that's what happened here. Now, people, of course, on the left, they have their panties in a bunch over this. They're calling this officer, agent, a murderer, and it's only going to get worse. They're only going to put more of a bullseye on these ICE agents, and they're only going to end up getting more citizens killed. We had an ICE agent who had his finger freaking bit off today by one of these maniacs that are out there. Okay? The
ICE agent's finger was bit off? What the F? Dude, it's so crazy. I love how people are acting like these rioters are on the right side of history, when in all reality, these rioters are just cuckoo bananas. All right? They're just crazy. I mean, if you guys don't think that these rioters are cray-cray, I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what to tell you, man. They're out of their damn minds. It's fucking cray, dude. Like, I just don't get it, man. How can you guys not see what's happening here? Alex Pretti was in the wrong. And the ICE agents were in the wrong. I still don't think they should have shot him. I wish the ICE agents would carry stun weapons. And I'm really hoping... What I'm really hoping is that they release the body cam footage from these ICE officers, and the reason I say that is because then we could get to the truth. What I really want to get to is the truth. What happened here? What does the body cam footage show? That's my question. And if the body cam footage shows something a little bit different, then we'll see. But, yeah, it's going to be interesting.
American people voted for President Donald Trump to deport all these illegal aliens. That is what they are doing. You might not like it, but that is what we voted for them to do. Now, this is no different. ICE is not doing anything different here than when Barack Obama was in charge. The only part...
That's very true. And you guys are all in love with Obama, all you woke people. And Obama was doing the same crap. He was deporting people like crazy. It's wild. It is wild.
Part that's different is that the left are not calling them Gestapo. The media are not calling them Nazis. Okay? That is the difference that you see between Barack Obama, when he had Tom Homan in charge, and he was giving Tom Homan all the praise and glory, and he was applauding ICE and saying we had to get all these people out of here.
I do think I have I do think I have Tim Walz derangement syndrome. Every time I see that guy speak, I just want to throw up in my mouth. Tim Walz is such a... I can't stand Tim Walz, dude. Tim Walz is the worst. I think Tim Walz is just such a piece of you-know-what. But yeah, if you guys have Tim Walz derangement syndrome like I do, don't forget to hit the subscribe button. It really helps the channel grow. But yeah, I definitely have Tim Walz derangement syndrome without a doubt. I really do. So don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you guys have Tim Walz derangement syndrome like I do, because Yeah, I am so sick of Tim Walz.
You didn't see all of this resistance because the media played along with it. They supported it. The Democrats played along with it. They supported it. Now it's because it's Trump doing it. They have turned all of these people, and let's not forget, you have paid agitators, out-of-state agitators that are all convening here in Minnesota because it's the opportunity right now. And the Democrats love the optics. They want to see chaos in the streets to say, this is Trump's America. Look at what Trump is doing, because they have nothing else. They have nothing to offer. They have no plan for America. They just had the helm for 4 years. We saw what a disaster it was. It was so bad that's why Trump won by such a landslide, because they are disaster. They are a disaster. Their policies are a disaster, and they have nothing left but to just fuel this chaos that's taking place. You don't see it happening in these other states where there's no resistance to ICE. They're just going in, getting the illegals, and getting them out. It's plain and simple. That's all it should be. Again, I call this justified shooting. More has to come out. I'm just a ham and egger here, calling it as I see it. But to call the ICE agents or the Border Patrol agents murderers, I think is very unhealthy for the country to do something like that. These guys are obviously there. They're there to confront ICE. They're there to obstruct ICE. They're there to get in the way. And it's a very bad...
But yeah, we're talking about Alex Pretti in the Minneapolis riots. This is crazy, man. Give me just a moment.
Bad idea if you're going to be packing heat and going to confront and engage with...
Yeah, I mean, if you're going to carry a gun on you and you're going to start engaging ICE agents, yeah. I mean, especially in a manner that is threatening, I mean, you're really putting yourself in a shitty situation. So we can I think we can all agree that Alex Pretti put himself in a very stupid situation that could have been avoided completely.
With a law officer. So it's this.
Don't forget to like the stream, though. The more likes we get, the better. It pushes us out on the algorithm. So that way we can get more... I can annoy more people, basically, with my thoughts and beliefs.
It was a very bad day for Minnesota. It's a bad day for America. Nobody wants to see it come to this. But if they don't stop, and as I said yesterday, you got Jasmine Crockett and AOC and Tim Walz, Tampon out there, all calling ICE agents
Tampon Tim,
They're
baby.
kidnapping this child. They
Tampon
didn't kidnap the
Tim.
child. The kid was abandoned by his father, he had an order, illegal, out of here, you got to go. But no, he ran and left his kid. The mother wouldn't take the kid. They
Tim.
lied about it.
Tampon
And by doing
Tim.
that, and by...
By the way, I know you guys love Tampon Tim. Dude, Tim Walz is such an incompetent boob. I can't stand Tim Walz, dude. I think he's probably one of the worst governors of all time. I really do. I really do think that Tim Walz is one of the worst governors of all time.
It absolutely contributes to this guy, Alex Pretti, getting killed. Pretti, I'm not sure if I'm saying his name right, so I apologize. But
all right, let's see here. We got CBS Boston protest breakout.
Federal agents shot and killed a 37-year-old nurse at the local veterans hospital as he protested the anti-immigrant surge there. The feds say he was armed and threatening officers, but several videos of the shooting appear to show otherwise. CBS's Lana Zak is there.
Another fatal shooting as ICE raids continue in Minnesota. Officials say a 37-year-old American citizen was shot and killed by federal agents.
Officers arrived and found an adult male with multiple gunshot wounds when they arrived. Life-saving aid was being rendered, and he was transported by ambulance to Hennepin County Medical Center, where he was later pronounced deceased.
Minneapolis residents were stunned.
A neighbor was murdered. One of our regular pub attenders was right there. I mean, they were murdered on the street.
ICE officials say the protester killed was in possession of a firearm.
I mean, it definitely looked like it, for sure. And to act like this guy wasn't putting himself into real danger by doing this, like if I went up to a cop and I started harassing a cop and I happened to have a deadly weapon on me, that's not good. That's not good. I would probably expect that there's a possibility I would get shot at if I was doing that. You know what I mean? It's one of those F around and find out, basically. F around and find out. Absolutely, dude. Absolutely. But if I was to do the same thing that Alex Pretti did and have a firearm on me and then start harassing ICE agents, yeah. Wow. And the fact of the matter is the woke people can't see the forest from the trees, and they don't realize that you can't just automatically take the side of the dude that got shot. It should be looked into, and then you can make a determination. So far, I will say this, from what I see, my preliminary report of this is that Pretti was being stupid, and I really wish they wouldn't shoot him. I wish they look, I think these guys need more access to stun weaponry, not lethal weaponry, and I mean it. Stun weaponry for ICE, not lethal weaponry. I think that's a fair compromise, because at least stun weaponry, if it's very advanced, can do a very good job of immobilizing somebody, at least temporarily. Stun weapons are great. The whole point is to neutralize them, not annihilate them. You know what I mean?
You can see the gun here on the screen there that individual possessed. It appears to be...
Oh, you guys, don't forget to tap the like button if you're tired of all the woke people in the chat. There's a lot of woke people in the chat right now, so tap the like button if you think the woke people in the chat are too dumb for their own good.
A semi-automatic, high-capacity type, possibly a Sig Sauer 9mm.
But Minnesota officials say the deceased had a valid gun permit and condemned the use of deadly force.
I just saw a video of...
Not this guy again. Jacob frickin' Frey. Jacob Frey is one of those theater kids that somehow found his way. I mean, I don't know how he got to the top in politics, but he's one of those guys that he'll charm you with his ability to act like he cares. He'll charm you with his ability to act like he gives a F. And this guy is a total sleaze.
More than 6 masked agents pummeling one of our constituents and shooting him to death. How many more residents, how many more Americans need to die or get badly hurt for this operation to end?
Tensions again inflamed. Protesters took to the streets today.
By the way, all Jacob Frey has to do is tell people to stop interfering with ICE investigations. It's very simple. Don't harass ICE. Don't go out there and start harassing the agents. If you're going to protest, actually protest. But don't be antagonizing the ICE officers. If you're antagonizing them, you're asking for it. You're just asking for it. If you're going up to them, getting in their bubble while they're doing their investigation, their lawful investigation, by the way, it's fine. No, I'm absolutely on the side of ICE. I'm on the side of ICE on this one.
Today.
We're hearing bottles being broken in the streets. There is a literal dumpster fire over there.
There's a literal dumpster fire. Was that lady talking about these people? Is this the dumpster fire that she was talking about? All these people? This is the dumpster fire I think she was talking about, by the way. That's my assumption. And, if you want to see a dumpster fire, well, here it is. This is the dumpster fire that we're all really talking about in the end. This is it. Yeah. Simple as that. No, and here's the thing. I still think I'm not going to just take the side of the guy. I'm not going to take the side of the guy who's going up to the ICE agents armed and in harassing them. I'm not. I just can't do it. I know you guys want me to, but I'm not gonna. And why the hell would I? Why the hell would I? I'm not necessarily going to take the side of the ICE agents either. I think that ICE agents just need stun weapons. If ICE agents had very advanced stun weaponry, I think a lot of these problems would not exist. I really do. No, it's a riot. It's a riot. I know that a lot of you guys want to call this a peaceful protest, but nothing about what these people are doing is peaceful. Nothing that these guys are doing is peaceful. A lot of these people are basically being total pieces of garbage. They're being pieces of shit. And no, I don't like what they're doing, man. Yeah, here's the problem with the libs at this point is, I mean, they're so far up their own butts. The libs are so far up their own butts that they really can't see the forest from the trees. And it's the truth, man. I mean, it really is the truth. But let's keep going. Let's keep watching. Let's see what else.
The shooting comes one day after thousands took to the streets of Minneapolis to protest ICE activities in Minnesota, and roughly 8 weeks into Operation Metro Surge, in which thousands of ICE agents first descended upon the state. Lana Zach, CBS News, Minneapolis.
And this is the problem, man. Whether you guys like it or not, ICE is a federal agency. I keep trying to tell you guys this, but nobody's listening. Okay, here's another report.
Today, that campaign claimed another life.
Okay, Tim Walz, stop it. You do realize that you have been fanning the flames. Tim Walz has been fanning the flames by telling people to go out there, and basically, he's not even telling them to peacefully protest at this point. You could tell he's just, this guy's so awful. Tim Walz needs to resign. I think Tim Walz and Jacob Frey need to resign for allowing a ton of fraud to happen in Minnesota. That's one thing. And then they need to resign because they keep encouraging, it seems like they just keep encouraging these people to keep doing the same stupid woke crap.
I've seen the videos from several angles, and it's sickening.
All right, let's see it.
Alex
Well, what was he doing beforehand?
Pretti was 37 years old, a U.S. citizen, born in Illinois, raised in Green Bay, Wisconsin. He was a registered nurse working in the intensive care unit at the Minneapolis VA hospital.
So why did he bring a gun with him? If he was, by the way, if he was trying to peacefully protest, I want to know what happened before that. Was he agitating them? Was he threatening them? Like, we need to see more evidence. We need to see more information before we can just assume that this guy was innocent. We can't just, look, innocent until proven guilty, but at the end of the day, we can't assume that the ICE agents are guilty either. There could have been a real threat there. And I'm just saying, if you're a critical thinker, you have the ability to analyze the situation. Come on.
A healthcare worker trained to save lives. Pretti was also an avid outdoorsman, a competitive cyclist, and a University of Minnesota graduate with a background in science and research. Family and neighbors described him as someone with a great heart. He legally owned a semi-automatic handgun and had a concealed carry permit.
Okay, so he had a gun on him, but did he try to pull the gun? That's the question. The question is this. Did he try to pull... this is the major question. Did he try to pull a gun on the ICE officers? I need to see more video.
But there was no history of violence, no criminal record, only minor traffic violations. Pretti was politically active and had participated in protests, including after the 2020 killing of George Floyd, and more recently, against federal immigration enforcement operations. On January 24th, 2026, during protests in South Minneapolis, Alex Pretti was fatally shot by federal agents from U.S. Border Patrol operating.
That's crazy, man. I mean, the whole situation's wild, man. I'm trying to watch more of the video. I want to see more angles. Like, that's the goal. I need to see more angles if I'm going to make a determination on this. You guys want me to make a determination on this? I need more angles. All right? By the way, if you're tired of being told what to do by woke people, make sure you tap the like button. Look, I'm not taking sides. Okay? I'm trying to analyze this like an adult. All right? And if you guys are real adults, which I highly doubt, you'll analyze this with as keen of a mind as you can. Look, a critical analysis of this matters. But I want you guys to if you guys can, like the stream. It does help the channel grow. Obviously, there's a lot of woke people in the chat who are mad at me for not taking a side. I'm not taking a side. I am gonna be neutral on this because I need to see more evidence. Did he pull a gun? That's the biggest question here. Did he pull a gun? I don't know. I'm not just going to assume he was in the right. But I'm also not going to fully assume he's in the wrong either. I still need to see more evidence. So I'm going to be looking at as much information as possible. I think it's a very responsible thing for me to do to try to get to the bottom of this and analyze what I can. I think you guys can at least agree that's a pretty fair thing to say. I've not taken a side. I haven't. I'm not a fan of ICE having lethal weapons. I think that they need to carry stun weapons because that way, if they're carrying like tasers and rubber bullet guns and stuff, at least they would be able to, neutralize the threat without permanently injuring the threat. And I think that would be the best way to do it. I think that's the whole idea. If you're going to have any sort of weaponry, I think it should be stun weaponry, to be quite frank. And, it's a shame that this guy had to die. Honestly, it's another shame. It sucks. But we don't know what was happening either. Was he agitating ICE beforehand? Was he acting threatening? Like, what was he doing? Was he crazed out of his mind? We don't know. And I think it's... I don't necessarily think it's a bad thing to critically think about this, you guys. It's called critical thinking, and I have no shame in doing it.
Under ICE. This happened just 2 miles from his home, amid...
By the way, if you guys can, like the stream, it does help the stream grow. By the way, if you want Vance in 2028, JD Vance 2028, tap the like button, man. Let's go.
Escalating tensions following the earlier killing of Renee Nicole Good by an ICE officer. Witnesses say Pretti was protesting and live streaming when agents rushed him. He was tackled to the ground, and, according to multiple accounts, he was holding his phone, not a weapon, and shielding a woman from pepper spray. Federal officials, however, claim Pretti reached for a holster and posed an immediate threat.
So here's the thing. If he was, and this is why we need the body cam footage. They need to release... I'm assuming these ICE officers have body cams on, right? They got to have body cams. So, if he was posing a real threat, the body cams will show that. The body cams will show if this Alex Pretti guy was showing a threat. And if he wasn't, great. It's really tough from these angles. It is very tough to get a gauge on what is happening from these angles.
Seconds later, gunshots ring out.
That person right there, it looks like she's filming. So I wonder if there's a released video of what she filmed, right? On her phone. Like, she probably recorded. I want to see what that angle shows. Because we're only seeing it from this angle and this angle. We need more angles, to be honest. And I'm kind of curious. I may even check out Twitter here in a second just to see what's being shown on there here in a moment. But yeah, give me just a few moments. But yeah, tap the like button if you guys want Vance 2028. Let's go. Tap that like button. You know what? I think what I'm going to do, I'm going to go on X real quick. X can get a little graphic from time to time, so I'm going to go on X, and we're going to take a look and see what's trending real quick. Let's look up Alex Pretti. Alex Pretti. Great. So here's what's going to happen. So not only do they... this is why I think ICE needs to carry stun weapons so none of these people become martyrs. The problem is these people become martyrs in a lot of ways. So this is why I think that ICE needs stun weapons. I need to see more video. Okay. So here's something that I found on X. We're gonna pull up X real quick, and let's see what happened. We're going to go on X real fast. Okay, gun removed. Okay, so they removed the gun. Well, honestly, there we go. Do they think that he was pulling another gun? That's a possibility. Looking at this real quick. Okay, let's see. Well, I don't know, man. I don't know what to tell you guys. I know you guys want me to take a side. And look, it looks like they removed his gun beforehand. So, let's keep watching, though.
Pretti was pronounced dead on the scene. His family said they learned of his death through media reports and struggled to get answers from authorities. Multiple bystander videos captured the chaos. Agents in tactical gear, protesters shouting, a man in orange pants being forced to the ground. One angle appears to show an agent disarming Pretti before the first shot. Slow motion analysis highlights his hand moving toward his waist, but other witnesses insist he was holding a phone and had already been restrained. No footage clearly shows Pretti firing or brandishing a weapon at the moment he was shot. Fallout and political reaction. Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem called the shooting justified, claiming agents acted in self-defense.
I don't know. The more I look at it, I'm not too sure. I don't think they should have shot him, no. I don't think they should have. The more I'm looking at this, man, it does appear that I mean, if there's a different angle that says otherwise, if it really looks like he was pulling for another weapon, okay. Okay. But let's take a look.
We were doing a targeted operation against an illegal criminal, and this individual came with a weapon and dozens of rounds of ammunition and attacked them. And these agents took action to defend their lives and to defend the lives of the people around them.
Minnesota Governor Tim Walz called the incident sickening and horrific.
Well, I mean, Tim Walz is sickening and horrific, and he needs to resign because he keeps telling these people that basically ICE is the Gestapo and ICE is, you know what I mean? If you keep fanning the flames and keep saying that ICE is the Gestapo, all your mindless followers are going to go out there and start messing with ICE. I really do believe that ICE should carry stun weapons because what happens is guys like Alex Pretti, people like Renee Good end up becoming martyrs for the woke cause. And I don't want to see these people die. I wouldn't mind seeing them tased or like, you know, if they needed to, like, you know, be shot with a rubber bullet gun. That's fine because they won't die. Likeliness is they wouldn't at least. But I do think that ICE needs to start carrying advanced stun weaponry. And that's about the extent of it. You know, because I think what ICE needs to realize is that these people are going to go crazy. They're going to attack them. And the best thing you could do is either mace them or stun them with a taser or stun them with a rubber bullet gun. I mean, these are simple options, by the way, people. ICE doesn't need to carry lethal weapons. They just don't. I think ICE should exist still, absolutely, but I don't think they should be able to garnish lethal weapons. Stun weapons, sure, not lethal.
Demanding an immediate end to the operation.
Today, that campaign claimed another life. I've seen the videos from several angles, and it's sickening.
Minneapolis Mayor Jacob Frey said the city lost another neighbor and moved to block ICE operations through the courts.
These kinds of operations in other places, in other countries, but not here in America. Not in a way where a great American city is being invaded by its own federal government. Your children will ask you what side.
By the way, this guy's saying
you were on.
Oh, you know what side I'm on? None of your guys' sides, by the way. Jacob Frey, I'm on none of your guys. I'm not on ICE's side on this one. I don't think they needed to shoot him. Nope. The more I look at the video, I don't think he needed to be shot. No. But at the same time, I think that the ICE agents were in the wrong. Sure. Absolutely. In this instance, I definitely think they were. I think they could have easily detained him, put him in handcuffs. And this is why I think ICE needs stun weaponry. They don't need lethal weapons. I've been really putting home this point that ICE can exist, that's fine, but they need to have stun weapons, and that should be the extent of it.
Your grandchildren will ask you what you did to act to prevent this from happening again.
President Trump.
So Jacob Frey is such a freaking loser. So Donald Trump is saying that this is the gunman's gun loaded with 2 additional full magazines and ready to go. What is that all about? I'm just reading Trump's tweet. Where are the local police? Why weren't they allowed to protect ICE officers? The mayor and the governor called them off. It is stated that many of these police were not allowed to do their job, that ICE had to protect themselves. Not an easy thing to do. Why does Ilhan Omar have $34 million in her account? And where are the tens of billions of dollars that have been stolen from the once great state of Minnesota? We are there because of massive monetary fraud with billions of dollars missing and illegal criminals that were allowed to infiltrate the state through the Democrats' open border policy. We want the money back. And this is just Trump's Truth Social thing, by the way. We want the money back, and we want it back now. Those fraudsters who stole the money are going to jail where they belong. This is no different than a really big bank robbery. Much of what you're witnessing is a cover-up for this theft and fraud. The mayor and the governor inciting an insurrection with their pompous, dangerous, and arrogant rhetoric instead of these sanctimonious political fools should be looking for the billions of dollars that had been stolen from the people of Minnesota and the United States of America. Let our ICE patriots do their job. 12,000 illegal alien criminals, many of them violent, have been arrested and taken out of Minnesota. If they were still there, you would see something far worse than you're witnessing today. Yeah.
Meanwhile, called Pretti a would-be assassin, a claim that video evidence and witness accounts continue to challenge. One man, two versions of events, and a city demanding.
No, by the way, I think ICE can exist, but with some different reservations. I don't think that they should have lethal weapons. Nope. I think that ICE needs to just have stun weapons, because I think at this point it's really just a measure of crowd control. Because obviously the woke mob is going to get pissed at these guys, so that's what's just going to happen, man. The wokies.
As investigations continue, the question remains, was this self-defense or a deadly failure of de-escalation?
Crazy. Give me a moment though. I gotta take a quick whiz. BRB. No, I don't think we should make it easier for people to immigrate here, to be honest. I really don't. We've already let in too many people, and there needs to be a limit to how many people are let in. There really does. There really does. You know, if I will say this, if America is such a bad country, then why do people want to immigrate here? Seriously. If America is the most racist, terrible country in the world, why are people lining up at the door to get here? It's because they don't want to live in their shithole country. They don't want to live in their shithole countries, no. That's true. But here's the thing. The reason those countries are total assholes is because the citizens of that country make it that way. Whatever country they come from. It's a cultural thing. It depends on the culture. It really does. At the end of the day. Yeah, and the problem is the people that live in those countries don't even try to change their culture, right? The goal should be, if the culture of your country sucks, then you should try to change. Then the people need to collectively start changing the culture and making it better, and model their culture after a culture that doesn't suck. One thing I'm hating, one thing that's pissing me off a little bit, is these people coming from these third world countries demanding that we assimilate to them and them not assimilate to us. I'm glad that we're a melting pot. I'm not against immigration, but I do believe there's been a little too much. Sometimes it gets to a point, you know? I don't think there's any shame in admitting that. I really don't. And I think you guys know that what I'm saying makes a lot of sense. I think you guys are aware. I think you guys know that I'm on the right track, right? I think you guys know that I'm the man. I'm the man, okay? I'm the man with the plan. I'm the man. I don't give a damn. And I'm the man. Cyclone B is saying, no, hold on. DC Love Spy is saying, can I talk to you on the phone? No, you can't. I'm not taking any calls today. Hell no. I ain't doing it. All right, let's keep watching, man. I would watch the Jacob Frey one, but I am so sick of seeing Jacob Frey.
Good evening, and thank you all for being with us. I'm Leah McLean. And I'm Lindsey Brown. We begin with that
All right, let's take a look.
breaking news tonight. 37-year-old Alex Pretti, a resident in Minneapolis, a U.S. citizen, also a registered nurse, shot and killed by a Border Patrol agent near 26th and Nicollet this morning. And today, protests and vigils have been held all throughout the Twin Cities metro. This is video just in our newsroom. It's a vigil near Minnehaha and Morris Park honoring Alex Pretti.
Like, I really am sad that he got shot. Like, it sucks. Like, I know you guys are thinking that, like, oh, you guys keep calling me a bootlicker and shit. But truth is, look, I'm not a fan of ICE having lethal weapons either. I really think that they should have just advanced stun weapons, and that's about the extent of it. I am sad about what's happening. It sucks, man. It really does suck.
And new video from the VA we're seeing here. This is where Pretti worked. This is video from December of 2024. And what you're seeing here is Pretti reading a final salute to a fallen veteran who was one of his ICU patients. The person who shared this video, Mac Randolph, said, quote, "Today we remember that freedom is not free. We have to work at it, nurture it, protect it, and even sacrifice for it."
And tonight, we're hearing from Alex's family for the first time. In a statement shared by Minnesota DFLers, his family says, quote, "We are heartbroken, but also very angry." They continued saying Alex wanted to make a difference in this world. Unfortunately, he will not be able to see his impact, end quote.
Pretti was shot around 9 o'clock this morning in a busy area of Minneapolis, and multiple people were there taking video of the event.
And a lot of people have seen this video. You may have, but again, we want to warn you, the video is very graphic.
Okay, let's take a look and see. Okay, these whistles, man, are insane. I will admit, a lot of these leftists have been antagonizing ICE officers, like, really hard. It's bad, dude. It's bad.
Get the people! What the is wrong with you? Honestly!
Around 9 o'clock this morning.
Okay, you got it.
Get the people! What the is wrong with you? Honestly!
This is one view of the video of the shooting that we see today. Tonight, federal and state officials, though, are disagreeing.
Damn, dude. That's wild, man. That's... Whew. That is graphic. Oh, my God. Yeah, by the way, the whistles and the yelling, these protests just got to stop. It's really what it boils down to. These protests got to stop. It's not protesting anymore. It's rioting. It's rioting at this point. And whether you guys want to admit it or not, it is pure play rioting. And these people are LARPing as protesters, but they're not protesters. These are rioters, by the way. And it's very tough for me to just take the side of these people automatically. It's also very tough for me to take the side of the ICE agents automatically. I'm not taking either side. I'm not taking any sides. I refuse to. I refuse. And the problem is a lot of these people are whistling. They have their loud ass whistles. They're going up to the ICE agents and harassing the ICE agents. It's pretty bad. It's honestly a pretty rough situation, man. And I'm not going to lie, I'm going to remain pretty neutral on this.
Not exactly what happened.
Both sides blaming the other as tensions continue to rise.
This individual showed up to a law enforcement operation with a weapon and dozens of rounds of ammunition. He wasn't there to peacefully protest. He was there to perpetuate violence.
I actually do want to see the body cam footage. I hope that they can release the body cam footage because I want to see from the perspective of the ICE officers. No, seriously, they have, by the way, there are stun weapons that exist. Stun weaponry has made an incredible, but people don't talk about stun weapons enough, but stun weapons are great. Yeah, you know what my side is, Zinc Roofer? My side. That's the side I take. And here's the thing, I think that what these people are doing is they're not just, first off, if they want to yell at the ICE agents, that's fine. But don't interfere in their investigations. It's that simple. Period. End of story.
I'm done being told that our community members are responsible for the vitriol in our streets. I'm done being...
Actually, they kind of are. Not just kind of, they completely are. The people that you say are protesting, Mr. Frey, are not protesting. They're rioting. It's plain and simple.
And told that our local elected officials are solely responsible for turning down the temperature. How many times must local and national leaders must plead with you, Donald Trump, to end this operation and recognize that this is not creating safety in our city?
And right now, we have team coverage with responses from city, state, and federal leaders, plus Pretti's neighbors speaking out for the first time as we try to break down frame by frame that video that we've been seeing. But first, let's go to the ongoing protest in South Minneapolis. Investigative reporter Eric Rasmussen was there when agents released chemical irritants.
Right now, Ryan Raish is joining us live. Ryan's on the other side of the protest. This is near 26th and Nicollet Avenue. And it's late. It's after 10:40, Ryan. Tell us what you're seeing out there at this hour.
Yes, we're just a few blocks, 3 or 4 blocks from where Alex Pretti was shot and killed early this morning, and we now have members of the Minnesota National Guard patrolling at least parts of the city. You can see this Humvee right over there. There's 2 members of the National Guard in that Humvee, and there's another one right here. 2 more members of the National Guard. They're wearing that green reflective vest, so you know who they belong to. And then they're sitting here in this intersection right next to an officer with the Minneapolis Police Department. This is the vehicle exclusion zone, and this scene repeats itself in a perimeter all around this scene. I want to show you this map right now. This is the vehicle exclusion zone. I counted about 45 blocks throughout the city. The whole point here is to limit the amount of traffic that can come in. And I was talking to the member of the National Guard. He was telling me that, you know, if you have business here, if you live here, they're going to let you through, but they're really trying to limit as many people as they can to coming into this zone. And it's something we learned 5 or 6 years ago with George Floyd. The Minnesota National Guard needs a specific mission, and today that mission came from Minneapolis and Hennepin County out here. That mission is to keep people out of this zone. And so far from...
I don't know, man.
From our vantage point, it has been a peaceful evening. Live in South Minneapolis, Ryan Raish, 5 Eyewitness News.
All right, Ryan, we want to go now to the other side of this area. Eric Rasmussen has been there all day, all night now, and it's late. Even after officials
I don't know what's
are out
happening,
there
but let's
spraying
get it.
chemical irritants.
And
Let's
Eric,
go, man.
what are you seeing and hearing right now where you are? We see people still behind you at this hour.
Right. I can tell you the number of people has thinned out quite a bit since we joined you over on Channel 45 about an hour ago.
Samuel Westall, what's up, man? Don't forget to tap that like button. Hey, guys, don't forget to like the stream. I appreciate it, man.
But as you say, there are still people here. The bonfires are still burning. The very large makeshift barricade here on Nicollet is still there. That's made up of wooden pallets and garbage cans and dumpsters that they put out here hours ago. Just past that barrier behind me is the scene of that deadly shooting involving federal agents earlier today. But no sign of federal authorities at all here for many, many hours now. However, when we first arrived here on scene not long after the shooting today, it was a very different situation where we saw a line of federal officers, actually from the Federal Bureau of Prisons, according to the uniforms, and a line of protesters. And that's when those federal officers started firing off the tear gas and the projectiles. We were right up front, got a face full of it, and we're running along with dozens and dozens of people out here today. So we want to show you what that looked and sounded like.
They just started releasing some tear gas. They're moving us back off the 27th.
You heard me coughing there, and then I certainly wasn't the only one in that situation. Photographer Joe Caffrey and I were able to get to safety, but we're showing you this because it's just a snapshot of the tension that had been.
Well, these people in Minnesota are out of their minds. They're harassing ICE agents consistently, and they're not peacefully protesting either. Like, by the way, they're not peacefully protesting. I want to make that very clear. These people are rioters. They're not protesters. They are rioters. And it's got to be made extremely clear. And it pisses me off that nobody's acknowledging these people are pure play rioters. Without a doubt. If you guys don't believe me, that's fine. But they're rioters. Rioters. Come on. We all know it. We all know it. Yeah, the whole situation is just wacky.
Been rising since the deadly shooting this morning. Now, after the federal agents left the area, demonstrators continue to flood this block all day long. We were able to make our way back to the exact spot where Alex Pretti was shot by federal agents. We found a growing memorial there, and it was surreal. Unlike loud protests just a short distance away, most of the people there were standing, even kneeling, mostly in silence. I did get a chance, though, to speak to a...
Yeah, I think that ICE should have stun weaponry. Absolutely. And by the way, these people, whether you like it or not, they're pretty much rioters. Some people are peacefully protesting, granted. Some are. Some people are peacefully protesting, but the majority of these people are rioters. I would probably say it's a 50-50 split. Some people are out to just F with ICE, and some are not. Simple as that. And if you guys are being I think there's a lot of intellectual dishonesty on the left about this. I don't think every one of these people are rioters. I think only maybe like half of them are. I really do feel like it's a coin flip. They're all radicalized, and they're all pretty woke.
Them who agreed to talk to me about this terrible moment that we're all collectively experiencing here in Minneapolis.
I think it's really important for us just to stay silent right now and just reflect on what's happening in our city and just remembering all the people who have been affected by this and Renee Good's family, Alex's family right now, and just taking a moment of silence just for them.
I think everyone needs to see it for what it is, and everyone needs to watch it and just know that this is un-American. This is not what we stand for. This is not what the city stands for.
Yeah. Here's the thing. I have trouble at this point taking the side of any of these rioters / protesters. So I need more evidence to make a conclusion. I need more evidence. I still think that he was pretty much detained and shooting him was unnecessary, in my opinion. So yeah, I'm not a fan of that. Not a fan at all.
And back out here live as we approach 11 p.m. on this just incredibly difficult day. Still people standing out here. You see a car go past me, but they're not going much farther than that because they've got the street blocked off. You know, we've talked to as many demonstrators and bystanders as we could today, including the two you just heard from. Both of those people say Minneapolis is their home. The young woman I spoke to lives right down this block, and we're hearing that from a lot of the people here that they didn't have far to go, but they felt like it was important to be here, especially today. Live in Minneapolis, Eric Rasmussen, 5 Eyewitness News.
All right, and thank you, Eric, for being there on this difficult day after many difficult weeks. This is the third shooting involving a federal agent since Operation Metro Surge began in the Twin Cities. On January 7th, an Immigration and Customs Enforcement agent shot and killed 37-year-old Renee Good. It happened on Portland Avenue near 34.
I will say the Renee Good situation, still don't think she should have been shot, but she shouldn't have also hit the guy with the car. Both parties were wrong on that one as well.
4th Street in Minneapolis. Homeland Security says the agent, identified as Jonathan Ross, was acting in self-defense, claiming Good was trying to ram Ross with her vehicle. The FBI is investigating. Then on January 14th, local and federal authorities said a man being pursued by federal immigration agents was shot in the leg after an altercation took place. Homeland Security says the man shot and another man were attacking the agent when he feared for his life and fired his gun. Again, the FBI is investigating.
And Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem addressed the situation in a news conference that was live streamed from Washington, D.C. today. Secretary Noem defending the agent's actions.
Individuals showed up to impede a law enforcement operation and assaulted.
And yeah, if they are impeding an investigation, look, I still think that, I still don't think that the guy needed to be shot. They pretty much had him detained to the nth degree, and I don't think they needed to shoot him, no. It is crazy that he had 3 rounds of it. Well, 3 full clips. That is crazy. So, yeah, him going to that, yeah, feeling game, and I see where you're coming from there. Make sure you guys like the stream, though. The more likes we get, the better. It does help the channel grow in more ways than one. So don't forget to tap the like button.
Our officers, they responded according to their training and took action to defend the officer's life and those of the public around him.
And we're being told now that the Department of Homeland Security is handling the investigation into the shooting. That does concern some Minnesotans, as multiple federal prosecutors have resigned in protest to the way that these cases are being handled.
And we can tell you tonight, Hennepin County Attorney's Office and the Minnesota Bureau of Criminal Apprehension are suing the federal government, seeking to prevent the destruction.
That is crazy that he had 3 full clips on him, man. But sub Feline Gaming, what up, my brony bro? Yeah, and here's the thing. I mean, if you're bringing a gun in 3 full rounds of clips, three clip rounds, that is a little bit sus. But they remove the gun at a certain point. So, like, once they remove the gun off his body, I still don't think they should have shot him. Me personally, this is why I think that ICE needs to carry stun weaponry. That's what I believe personally.
Destruction of evidence related to today's fatal shooting.
The head of the BCA and Governor Walz speaking today about the investigation. Our Brittany Ehrman shares what they said.
Well, Leah and Lindsay, we saw at least 6 different Minnesota National Guard trucks on site to secure the Whipple Federal Building, but they left in the last half hour or so. Now, we heard from a lot of different state leaders today who talked about what happened, and the message across the board is clear. They want a state-led investigation into the shooting, but there are some challenges. The Bureau of Criminal Apprehension telling us today they went to that scene to try and investigate, but they were blocked by the Department of Homeland Security. They tell us they went back for a second time with a search warrant signed by a judge, but they were denied access again. How will you be able to ensure a thorough and fair investigation if they weren't able to collect evidence the day that the shooting happened?
It's complicated. You know, that's why the long history of jointly working investigations when the federal entities conduct their own investigation is really important. And we have a long established process of doing that. That's what our BCA
The BCA superintendent, Drew Evans, said it's typical for the BCA to investigate use of force cases working alongside federal agencies. Officials say a state-level investigation is still moving forward, even though they were blocked from gathering evidence. Governor Tim Walz also weighed in on the shooting, calling the video, quote, sickening. Once again, he is calling on President Trump to remove ICE from Minnesota and is pushing for the state to lead this investigation.
Interesting.
Minnesota's justice system will have the last word on this. It must have the last word.
Yeah, look, I'm hoping that, look, it's a federal investigation at this point, because this is why I'm telling you, you rioters, stop antagonizing ICE agents. Just stay away from them. Let them do their thing. If you want to videotape their investigations while they're doing it from a distance, okay, absolutely. 100%. But you can't interfere. Stop interfering.
I told the White House in no uncertain terms this morning the federal government cannot be trusted to lead this investigation. The state will handle it, period.
And state public safety leaders are saying they're doing everything they can to get answers and restore a sense of normalcy in the state. And of course, them telling protesters to remain peaceful as they exercise their First Amendment right. Live in Minneapolis, Brittany Erman, 5
as if they're going to remain peaceful.
And new tonight, we are now learning that 2 more witnesses who were there on the scene today, they are now joining the ACLU's lawsuit.
The lawsuit claims federal agents are violating civilians' civil rights. Both witnesses say they didn't see Pretti in possession of a gun. You can read their account at KSTP.com.
Okay, they didn't see him in possession of a gun, but he did have a possession of a gun. It was pretty clear. He had a gun and 3 clips of ammunition. And he's effing with ICE agents. So, I mean, put 2 and 2 together, right? Put 2 and 2 together. Like, don't use your emotion on this. Just put 2 and 2 together. Come on, man. These rioters need to stop. The rioters need to stop.
And tonight,
I have severe Minnesota fatigue right now. I'm talking about it because it's all over the news. And when it's all over the news, the Michael Garza Show is on top of it, unfortunately. But yeah, no, we talk about this stuff on the show. And yeah, you know me. I'm not a big Tim Walz fan. I think Tim Walz is a buffoon, I think would be the accurate terminology. I do think Tim Walz is an absolute moron. And I'm not a fan of him, man. I think that he's allowed so much fraud, and he's allowed Minnesota to basically become a sanctuary state. And, yeah. So it's pretty crazy, man. It's wild. Well, I do want to thank you guys. We're going to kind of call it quits for the day. I just wanted to do a short live video on this, kind of react to a few things that were going on around the internet revolving around this. And look, I'm still not going to take any sides until I see that body cam footage. I need to see the body cam footage. Now, I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to take Alex Pretti's side. He took a big risk, but I'm not taking the ICE agent's side either. I want to make that clear. I'm taking no sides. I repeat, I am taking no sides. And if you guys are trying to force me to take a side, I'm not gonna. I need to see more evidence before I make a determination on this. I'm not just gonna jump the gun. All right? Now, from the evidence that I've seen so far, I will say I'm leaning towards ICE agents being in the wrong here. If they were able to disarm him beforehand and then they shot him anyway, that's a problem. That is a huge problem. And it's disturbing. Absolutely. But I do want to thank you guys for joining in on this one. I will let you guys go. I'll talk to you guys later. I got some stuff I got to take care of. I'll probably do a quick short video or two. But it's a sad. I just want to also say this final note. It's a shame what happened to Alex. Like, it really is. Is it? I don't think he deserved to be shot. No. I want people to be aware of that. No, I think it's an absolute tragedy, and it sucks. But I'm not going to just say that he was in the right either. So we're going to need more evidence, is what I'm trying to say. Yeah, we're just going to need more evidence. I mean, that's just all there is to it. Yeah, here's the thing. You can call me cowardly if you want, Feline Gaming, but here's the deal. I'm not taking a side. I need more evidence. That's the whole point, man. I need more evidence here. And, I think it's a good thing to try to at least get a little more evidence. Why not, I think it's necessary at this point to get as much evidence as you can gather. Really, I believe that. Straight up. But I do want to thank you guys for tuning in, though. I really appreciate it. I'm going to end the stream right now. Just have an incredible rest of the day. I'll be streaming a little bit later tonight, streaming hard. We might revisit this tonight. I don't know. We'll see what we're gonna visit. Yeah, and we'll see what's up.